Hello, you degenerate old schoolers, and welcome back to another episode of The Orb. On the off chance that you don't think everything I do is extra fucking special, this video is extra special, as it is a top 4 matchup for the month. We're down to the wire here. Winner goes on to play for his namesake being thrown down in the history books. Xpoint 39 champion. At least they have a shot at it. Loser packs their fucking bags like the rest of us and gets to try again another month. So, on the off chance that you have not already done it, go down, find the subscribe button. I say dumb things often, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. And now that I've given you time to do that, let's take a look at these decks. And here's a look at Andreas. Andreas was featured on my last video with this deck. I was nice enough to grant it the name Drunk Guy Ale. Dead Guy Ale got off work, found Margaritaville at 5 o'clock somewhere, and got shit-faced and just said, let's party with some fucking sedge trolls. You know, they're down to party. Look, they're kind of crunched over in the corner. They're probably not down to party. It looks like they're getting ready to fucking shoot some heroin. So, sedge trolls, stay the fuck away from. But lightning bolt, because, you know, what's 10 million to 400 million volts coming thrown down from the sky? And stone rains, which are awesome. They pair well with the sinkholes. This madman also blended in 2 Armageddons, so 10 land destruction spells. You count on the strip mine, 11 ways to get rid of land, 2 Anka Mishra, they all play well together. Some mana ramp. I already mentioned the trolls. The Kumbach witches are awesome. I think they can go on a murdering spree, especially in this format. They're kind of tough to deal with. I mean, they are 1/3, but they can pass on that last bit of damage whenever needed. 2 Sengir vampires because, well, they're fucking terrifying. I mean, it's Black Sarah Angel. I love to see a Sengir get a +1/+1 counter on it. So I would like to see that this game. 2 Darylors, which is kind of big ballsy. I mean, this is 3-colored black. He does have more black spells than anything else in the deck. But that being said, you know, being able to pay that 1 extra is probably not the end of the world. He is relatively low on the curve, sitting somewhere between 2 and 3 casting. 2 and 3 is his average casting cost in here. You know, in here on the sideboard, a couple of Earthquake, which I think are fantastic to take care of those low, wide decks. You know, a White Weenie or a Mono Green Stompy. A couple Black Vice against the slow decks. 2 Disenchant. 2 Red Elemental Blast. 2 Gloom. 2 Spirit Link, which I love. 1 Disc, Never Narrows Disc in the sideboard. 1 Terror and 1 Dust to Dust. So I do enjoy seeing this deck. I liked it work. Liked to watch it work last week. Very fun. Andreas, nice deck that you put together. And that being said, let's take a look at your opponent's deck. And here's a look at Andress's 4-drop deck. He calls it 4-drop because there are a total of 10, count them, 10 4-drop creatures. 4 Urnum Djinns, 3 Su-Chis, 1 Juggernaut, and 2 Darylor. Darylor hitting both decks, which I like. So Andress is also on 3 colors. Maybe 3 colors is key in Xpoint. But he has some of the most efficient cards of the 3 colors. Urnum Djinns, you know, Kurt Ape, so he has some of that Arabian aggro. He has all the elves that he needs, 4 Llanowar and 2 Elves of Deep Shadow. He also has the mixture of lightning bolts, 3 giant growths, and 1 berserk. I love the spicy berserk in there. I'd love to see that thing thrown down on a juggernaut headed in. He's also got 3 disintegrate and a hurricane, and a channel sitting right below there, so he can dump a bunch of life into those disintegrate. And I mean, he can pull off something like a turn 3 win without even having to go to combat. He has 1 Shatter in the deck just for good luck, a Regrowth, Soul Ring, Wheel of Fortune, and 4 Mishra's Factories round out his points. The standard Chaos Orb, and a myriad of land, including 1 Pendlehaven. Pendlehaven's great to work with all those 1/1 elves, or your possible Kurt Ape when you don't have a forest in play. His sideboard, I think, has some interesting choices in it. 2 Blood Moon, which are completely understandable. 2 Dragon Whelp, which surprised me a little bit. I mean, Dragon Whelp can get going, and actually they can take care of some pretty big flyers, because if you dump that extra red mana in there, they just get destroyed at the end of the turn. So you can stick more than 3 into it if you have to. He also has a Flash Fires, a Tsunami, a Terror, 2 Ices, which I absolutely love, Icy Manipulator, 3 Red Elemental Blast, Tranquility to destroy all enchantments, 1 Shatter in the sideboard just for good luck on the sideboard too, and a Falling Star, which Falling Star has done some heavy work against me as of late. So always fun flipping other things other than just Chaos Orb. Falling Star is right up there, second to the Orb. So, I've said enough things. I can't wait. Let's move on and see game number 1. And we are rolling with game number 1. Andress on the right, Andreas on the left. Andreas had a mulligan, and Andress is first to play this top 4 matchup. Look at this. Fires down a Land of War Elf, followed by a Forest and a tap. Love it, love it, love it. Andreas comes back at him with a Swamp. And no follow-up. Quick pass. Elf in for 1. So first blood has been taken. Kind of quick pass back and forth. Andreas doing some mana ramp of his own. He does it in the form of an artifact as opposed to a 1/1 elf. Oh, look at this. Bolt straight to the face of the elf. Elf setting has been updated to extra crispy. Well done. And I don't know why my title screen keeps floating in like that. That is not something I'm doing. The computer has taken over the process of this, and I'm sure will be speaking for me before too long. But until then, 3 will be tapped, and a Stone Rain will happen. 1 Taiga down. So, and Andress is on that 4-drop plan. That's what he calls his deck. I'm sure he's looking to hit his 4th mana source here to rip something big, bad, and ugly down in front of him and start beating the daylights out of Andreas with it. But Stone Rain sets him back a turn. Andreas stacking up his land, and Sedge Trolls down. Andreas leaving 2 ways to protect it. It is a 3/3. Immediate Darelore answer out of Andress, though. 4/4. All his black spells, which is just 1 more Darelore, now cost 1 extra to cast. Yeah, 2 down for a Chaos Orb. Oh, we're activating. So our first orb flip for the day, this is going to be an important one. He is targeting the Darelore, showing his flipping finger. And here we go. Oh, clean hit. Albanian judges give it a very clean 6.3. And the Darelore has been vaporized. Here we go. Andreas strikes back. Sedge Troll is coming in for 3 damage, but there's an immediate one more 4-drop answer. Urnum Jin. Andreas tapping 2 for Kumbach Witches. Urnum is such a powerhouse. I mean, the scary thing is he hands out Forest Walk. I'm sure that's been gifted to the witches. I could be wrong. But I mean, at this point, kind of the bad news is Sedgetroll can sit back, block, regenerate, and pin that Urnum up. Gets that Urnum all stoved up with nowhere to go. And really, the witches can do a little bit of work here. So Andress thinking, and Andress passes back with 3 cards. Andreas and taps. Sends in the witches for 1. I guess the other train of thought here would be give the Sedgetroll Forest Walk, as it needs to be untapped to block. And then you have the Urnum up to block the Kumbach Witches. Just a thought. Oh, look at this. Disintegrate, and there will be no regeneration. Ouch. Not even a Sedgetroll can live through that. And here we go. Urnum coming in. Doing some roids on the way in. Going in for 7 damage. That's huge. Andreas down to 12. That changed the dynamic of the game in a hurry. Another Stone Rain. Badlands down. So it takes him off black. Looks like we're not going to see a new Darylore anytime soon. The witches come in for just 1. 1 doesn't feel great when Urnum's across the board just pounding your fucking face in. Look at this. He is dropping down to 8 life. Now he's got to be thinking through his outs right now. I mean, uh-oh. Passes the turn. He is holding 1 card in hand, favoring 1 card. Looks like we have a bolt down, though. I hope you like your witch's tit roasted, because that's what just happened. Bolt in. Urnum turning sideways. He's down to 4 now. This is looking real bad. He needs a body out there, a way to stop this Urnum. He has a Demonic Tutor, so he can go get his favorite fucking card in his deck to do so. That's why Demonic Tutor's great. We'll see what he looks up here. And with the help of a little movie magic, Andreas has cut his deck and shuffled and found his card. Here we go, tapping 3, new Sedgetroll down. Okay, it's a body. And it's going to take another Disintegrate to remove him. Sedgetroll's been promoted to head Forest Walker in charge. Andress tapping 2, channel. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Looks like he's just paying a couple life. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Channel is good through the end of turn. Bad news, I think, is he's pointing to the fact that he had to tap his red mana source. Uh-oh. And Andreas is fighting back. Yeah. 3 to the face, so that puts Andress down to 10. Andreas is on 4. Coming down to the wire here. Okay. Finds another red source. Regrowth. Disintegrate. Using the channel mana. See if he has a solution. Nope, that's it. Wow. That was a good one. 2 disintegrates, a channel, and an Urnum in for the win. We'll swap out some cards and take a look at game number 2. So, game number 1, Andress was pushing grand pianos out of a 10-story building. Andreas was just taking a walk around the block and got clipped by one. Game number 2, though, like the same but a little bit different. Andreas on the play, Anders on a mulligan. And a Badlands will be in play first, followed by a Forest. Scrubland, followed by a Sinkhole. The ground opens up, the forest disappears, but a new one has shown up to the battlefield. Andreas with another Badlands. And a Chaos Orb. Uh-oh. Immediate activation on the orb. And here it comes. Clean rotation. The judge delegates from Papua New Guinea give it a 9.8. They are cheering that one on up. So that orb just keeps fucking floating around the screen. Hopefully your cat's not swatting at it. Anders still fighting, throws down a Taiga and a Kurdape, so 2-3 down on the board. He's lost a couple forests. Andreas, with his chainsaw, smoking his cigar, is happy to do some deforestation. But Andreas doesn't have a follow-up, and Kurdape is striking in for first blood of this game. Andreas going down to 18. Kurdape just reaching its big finger across the table and poking Andreas in the eye. 3's being tapped, and Sedge Troll's out again. So, we know Disintegrates deal well with Sedge Troll. But as of right now, he's 3-3. And he's got the mana open to stop that incoming ape. Trolls versus apes. The troll wins. Most of the time. As long as he has his swamp. Dirty bastard. So, Sedge Troll's going to work here, turning sideways. Coming in for 3. Anders down to 17. 17 to 18. So, blood has been drawn across both sides of the board. Andreas dropping a little ramp down, Felwar Stone out. Not a bad idea since he plays with Geddons, and actually Geddon would probably be pretty devastating right now. Oh, there we go. Anders dropping 4. 4th mana source, Disintegration. And the Sedge Troll can't even be saved by its favorite swamp. Andreas ticking down to 16 after the Kurdape reached across the board and poked him in his other eye. Ape is an eye-poking son of a bitch. More Felwar Stone. Tapping for Armageddon. Here we go. Nice play. Lots of lands removed. Ape goes down to being a 1/1. He needs his forests. Comes in for 1. Andreas picks out a swamp, throws it down. Unfortunately, those Felwar Stones are both useless. Ape picking at old scabs on Andress' leg just to make him bleed a little bit. Still coming in for 1. Yeah, Andreas down to 13. Andress still the aggressor, and he forces out another Ape. He also has turned those Felwar Stones online for Andreas. He is tapping 4. Fireball, holy shit. And that was a huge 2-for-1. Andress pulling a strip mine. And pass. Yeah, he probably doesn't want to use that mana source. I'm sure he wants to build back up to 4. To drop some of those 4-drops. And look at this. Stone Rain. Bolt to the face for Andreas. He goes down to 10. Andress loses another mana source. He does find a Soul Ring, which is pretty big. Andreas needs to find some pressure to start draining that life total. Kumbach Witches show back up. Let's see if they can do some work. Yeah. Andress here with 3 colorless mana. That doesn't help a whole lot. Oh, Soul Ring is found on the other side of the board. And the Witches come in for 1. Life total now 15 to 10. Andress is on 15. Andreas is on 10. And another Chaos Orb's been found. And here we go with a quick activation. He's going to use the Soul Ring as the target. He flips the orb up twice over his head. Bounces off the ceiling. Damn, nice hit. Clean rotation. Judges from Lithuania give it a 7.8. And his Soul Ring is down. Wow. The Soul Ring has been decimated. I did not see that one coming. But I guess for right now, those Felwar Stones are kind of useless as there's no colored mana source down. So that leaves Andreas with just 2 black sources. And Anders with a total of 3 colorless sources. Here we go. Scrubland down. Witches come in for 1. I did expect the Witches to be the target as they are the main threat. But Anders still being on 14 life, there's a lot more game to play. And a pass back. Oh, Factory is found. This could be a problem. Uh-oh. Tapping 4 colorless for a Suchi. Problems abound. Andreas needs to answer that Suchi. Really, his Kumbach Witches can answer the Factory pretty well. Along with all his land destruction he has. 2 for a disenchant on the Suchi. Looks like he's dropping it all into the Factory, which makes sense. Mana burn still is a thing, and it hurts. The Suchi hurts extra bad. And a pass back. I guess the witches stay back for blocking duty. And Andress has no intention of letting that happen, as he just forces down an Icy Manipulator. Gotta love Icy, especially late in these long games. It's going to do some heavy lifting, I'd expect. We shall see. Gonna pass again. Now that Icy Manipulator, yeah. Tap, tap, tap. He's caressing his Mishra's Factory. Oh, Strip Mine, taking out the white source. Okay, that's smart. And Factory in for 2. So, yeah, Felwar Stones are still turned off. Andreas has access to 2 black sources. Okay, Scrubland of his own again is out. He's tapping 3 for a paperback. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world, but you know, he does need to dig, and he needs to find an answer, another creature answer. The witches stab in for 1. I mean, that Soul Ring's doing all the heavy lifting now. It's activating the Icy or activating the Factory and using the mana into the Icy. Yeah. Look at this. Factory in for another 2. Andreas is down to 6. He needs that other creature answer quickly. See if he drew one. Uh-oh. Sending the paperback to work. Reading. And I mean, Andress' deck has recovered so nicely, even with colorless mana, hitting those artifacts. Okay, another Scrubland goes to the bin from the paperback. Andreas pulls out a Badlands, so he does have access to a red mana source now. Now he needs a Bolt for that Factory. Okay, he's sending in the Witches again for another 1. Witches have done some work this game. But 1 at a time does not feel great at this point in the game. Yeah, tapping down some shit. Here we go. Tapping down his red source. That makes sense. Using the other one to activate the Factory. Ooh, Andreas down to 4 life. Drawing with a paperback again. Sinkhole on the Factory, and he pitches Geddon to the bin. I mean, that makes sense. No sense in getting rid of 3-year land for 1 of theirs. Yeah, discards Geddon for the paperback. He does need to do it in order, which he corrected. Sinkhole on the Factory, that's huge. Witch is in for another 1. Putting Andress down to 11, so Race is back on again. Andress needs to find some more mana sources to get some of his 4-drops out, even some colored mana. I mean, he has to have a handful of cards at this point. Black Vice would be tearing him a new asshole. But that's not on the board right now. Oh, is he going to have to pitch 1 to the bin? Yeah, discard step's real, and sometimes it's tough discarding those cards. Yeah, pitches Wheel of Fortune, which makes sense. You know, he has 3 or 4 more cards more than his opponent. Paperback's getting used again. Felwar Stone goes to the bin. Witches are getting tapped down. So I got the board at 10-4. Andreas is on 4. Andress is on 10. Another Mishra's Factory has shown up to this board. Wow. I mean, this looks more like the outcome of a 4-strip match when there's like barely any permanents left in play on one side. Stone Rain, holy shit. I'm going to have to make some land destruction animation. I mean, Andreas is just out there ripping away all the resources that Andress is coming up with. And that doesn't feel the greatest. This paperback is doing some fucking work. Andress had to pitch a giant growth. That doesn't feel well. But this paperback is digging deep. I mean, he's getting the quality over quantity. He doesn't get to keep all these extra ones, but the cards he's pitching he doesn't really need. You know, that other Felwar Stone he threw away, so what? Gedney threw away, same deal, so what? He throws away a Terror. That's kind of ballsy. Hopefully he has another 2, 3, 4 more Terrors in hand. And he fires out another Kumbach Witches. So, I mean, life total 9-4. Here we go, Badlands. So, Felwar Stones are back online again. Andress has seen the first colored mana that he's seen in what feels like an eternity. I'm sure it felt like 12 days long to him. That's tough when you have to go that long. I mean, he made some great plays, factories, and got that icy out Soul Ring, but unless you're playing robots, yeah, it kind of feels bad. Andreas tapping 3 and says, fuck your colored mana. Jesus. Youchie. Bolt back to the face. Oh, this is bad. Andreas is down to 1. Never get to less than 3 against a red deck. 1-9. I mean, yeah, if a small child sneezes on Andreas, he's gonna die. Oh, Witches come in for 2, so now it's 7-1. And looks like no colored mana. Paperback doing more work. He pitches an Earthquake. That shit is worthless. Unless he wants to tie out the game. And really, he can't even do that without doing a few more damage. And he can't do it at instant speed. So he's going to have to know in advance he loses. Deal a couple more damage and then rip that Earthquake down. Not quite ideal situation. So Earthquake's in the bin. Yeah, Andreas is dropping Andress to 5. Those Witches are doing some heavy lifting, doing some dirty work here. Andreas tapping 2. Disenchant. Look at this. Oh, it's Soul Ring. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, it does shut off the Icy Manipulator. Andress' deck is a 4-drop deck. I'm sure he's noticed that pattern. And look at this, he rips another Mishra's Factory. So I'm sure he's longing for some colored mana, but at the same time, Factory is pretty fucking A-okay good. Yeah, Andreas decides to use his paperback, does some more reading. It's a paperback, so it's more casual reading. He's doing it on the beach, sunglasses on, Mai Tai in hand. He's probably a little shit-faced while he's doing the reading, and that's why he keeps throwing things away. But in this case, he throws away a swamp, and he says, "Peasant swamp is useless to me, as I have the much superior Badlands." And he plays the Badlands out. Ooh, Andreas tapping 4 and showing us a Darelore. Nice. Darelores have been key in this game. And I mean, it is 5-1 here. That's the life total. Andreas on 1. I mean, a bad fart in a room that's not too big, that's not ventilated, may kill him. And Andress, who's on 5, but he's staring down the barrel of 3 creatures. So, looks like they're moving to attacks. Oh, no, just a pass. Disintegrate for 1. Oh, shit. Is this it? Andreas tapping 1 for a bolt. And 2 witch damage. So, I know the witch damage resolves. The person controlling the witch picks the target first. Andress gets to pick the target next, and the damage comes off all at the same time. But, oh, look at that, another lightning bolt top deck. Wow, that would have been it. But it's not. I think they agree that Andreas loses out, and Andress will be moving on. So this was your Final Four match. As always, thanks for watching The Orb.